Welcome to my channel, Stash the Cash. My name is Mrs. Lex, checking in once more with you today. Today's topic is actually story time, and the topic is actually reflection time. Just reflecting on the year 2023, how it's been in regards to saving and so forth, the pros and cons, good or bad, striving or not striving, and how I was feeling and how I got from A to B and C and so forth. But before doing so, I would like to recite Stash the Cash memory verse because, I think it has to be said, it should be heard. So just bear with me. Stash the cash, it must be done. For many people, you will see, the cost of living, it's gone up. For many people, just bad luck. Plan ahead, it is the deal. The pain inside you're going to feel. Coins or notes, they must be stashed. For times ahead, we'll need that cash. So it's self-explanatory, we have to think ahead and stash that cash in any way or form. So as I said, today's topic is just reflecting on 2023. We're almost at the end of the year, and I just wanted to touch base with my handful of subscribers, which I have. I'm hoping to get some more, and just to tell you, how I got from A to B and how it was for me, because I think sometimes when you say something in the media, sometimes there are some people that doubt. There are a lot of doubting, some people that doubt what you say. I try to keep it as real on the channel as possible, and I like to count and show you that the evidence. However, I don't know. Sometimes when you say a figure, I don't know why sometimes people doubt that that is even possible, because I have a mediocre income, so I think I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't know. I don't know. People are entitled to believe, or believe what they want to and have an opinion, but such is life, I try to express myself as clearly as possible at times, even though I do tend to get tongue-tied and waffle. However, as I said, we're reflecting. So I just want to reflect on my saving journey from the beginning of 2023 and who inspired me to try saving challenges. And I was actually watching my news channel, and there is a gentleman on the news channel called Martin Lewis from, I think they refer to him as the money saving expert, because he gives tips and advice in regards to saving, banking, energy, so forth. And I like to listen to him because I think he's a very, very he comes across as a very caring soul, and when he sighs, I don't know, I think he really feels the pain of people, and he tries to direct them to a brighter zone, whether that be in regards to saving some money in different categories, whether it's banking, saving, or challenges and so forth. So anyway, he was just talking on the news channel in January about, it's going to get so difficult for people, and people are up against it, and, everybody should try the penny challenge. So I was just listening, and I thought, he explained that you could just download it. It's a printable, and you should try it, and if you persevered for 12 months, when you get to the end of the 12 months, it would tally at 667. So I did that. I put it into action, and I thought, oh, pennies, I can knock this out of the park in 6 months. But it actually took me 7.5 months. But the good thing about it was, when I had hit 5 months, it was over £500, almost 6. And then when I completed it, it was over £700. So I have to say a big thank you to Martin Lewis, because who would have thought that saving coins in a couple of months, it could have got to over £700. And he was the one that inspired me. And because of one challenge, I then went on to a series of different challenges. Hence, I have them on the table: the £5 note, the tin, the coins, and so forth. And then what I noticed was I was staggering them. And then what I noticed was, as I felt competent in doing one, I moved on to the other. So I didn't all start them at the same time. And I was hitting milestones that I never thought was possible. And then what happened next was, because my family saw me trying, they also were encouraging me, you know, and then I was moving forward in a positive way. And then 6 months rolled by and I had saved £4,017, and I just thought, okay, it's £4,017, I've got my emergency funds. And then my son comes along, my youngest son comes along and says, Mum, you know, I know you can improve that. You know, at the time I just thought to myself, well, I've got a couple of thousand, I've got my emergency funds. But then he said to me, no, I know you can improve that. I know you. I know what you're capable of, and you can. So then I soldiered on, and I kept pushing forward, and then I got to over 6,000 to date. I'm talking about like now, to date. We're in December now. The last time I checked in, it was over 6,000. So I started from zero, and now I'm over 6,000. Obviously, over 6,000 isn't my final amount, because obviously I have a tin and some notes to add to that, but I'm waiting until after Christmas. But what I wanted to highlight to you, because I was doing so well with the challenges, I had a lot of support from my family, and I've always said I couldn't have done it without my family, and I have to I give myself credit for being committed, and I give myself credit for that, but obviously my family played an important role, because when they saw me trying, they tried to help me and assist me in any way or form. And the other thing that I did was, whenever I was gifted funds, I would save, and I've said this in a previous video. I don't know if anybody doubts me, but I'm just going to give you some figures. Whenever I was gifted funds, I would save all, or sometimes half, depending on the occasions. And on the occasion. And I was just reflecting back over these 12 months, because we're actually in the 12th month of the year, how many times I was gifted funds and what I spent out of it. So I just wanted to highlight that to you, because you can say to somebody that, oh, I've saved X amount, and they might be thinking, no, I don't believe you. But I really did save that amount. And I had, in regards to just gifted funds, this is just gifted funds. For example, in the new year, I was gifted £1,000. And to be honest, I didn't spend one penny of it. I put it all in the bank. And then it was Valentine's. I was gifted 150. And I thought to myself, because I didn't spend any money in the new year, I would spend that. So I did. Then it was Mother's Day. I was gifted £1,000. I have 2 sons. I spent half, and then I put half in the bank. And then Easter, I was gifted another £1,000. I didn't spend any of it. I put all of it in the bank. And then in August, it was my birthday, and I was gifted £1,700. I spent £200, and I put the £1,500 in the bank. So you can see where we're going with the figures that I'm hitting. And when I added up, I was saying to my son the other day, my eldest son, when I added up all the gifted funds that I got from my little family, and I have a house of males, I've said this in a previous video, I have 2 adult sons and a husband. When I added up all my gifted funds that I received during the year, it tallied up to 4,850. Now one might say, well, you've had 4,850, how much did you spend? I was on a mission to save. And out of that 4,850, I only spent 850. I actually saved £4,000. I didn't spend it, because when I thought about it, when you are gifted funds, it's very, very easy to spend money, because obviously you haven't gone out and you haven't earned it. But sometimes you have to check yourself. The thing that you are buying, do you really need it? You know, do you really desire it? I mean, well, you may desire it, but do you really need that item? And I was checking myself on this scenario. Yes, I'm in a position that, yes, if I wanted something, I could buy it. But a lot of the times, I'm buying things that I already have. Coats and jackets and shoes, and I already have all those things. Clothes unworn, I have those. Clothes with tickets, I have those. Handbags not being used, I have those. So I decided that I'm going to bank this money. I'm going to put it somewhere. And that is how I managed to save majority of gifted funds. So that was my gifted funds that sorry, my camera's shaking, I managed to save. And then I was adding up all my challenges to date over 12 months, because obviously we're in the 12 months. And all my saving challenges came up to £3,114. So even if I didn't have as much gifted funds, I would have still saved all my challenges and I would have had over £3,000. So anywhere you want to swing it, it's a win-win-win. If I had decided to spend more of my gifted funds, obviously I'd have less in the bank. And if I wouldn't have saved any of my challenges, because that was my thing, was to keep it until the end of the year. So I just wanted to highlight that, you know, when you are on a mission to save, and I have said in a previous video that it's 12 months in a year, and during the year, I mean, you're in a family, people do get gifted money. I mean, my son was saying to me that when I was giving him the figures, he was saying that not a lot of people can relate to this. But for me, it's normality, because I'm in a house of males, and like I said, I don't know if males gift more than females, but that is what I received over a 12-month period, and that is what I spent. I mean, different families work in different ways, and I don't know. I think it's how you move with your family and your children. Because I think if you are giving to them, then I think whatever you put out, you get it back. Well, hopefully, that's the way it's been for me. So I was just reflecting on, you know, how my saving journey has been. And, you know, the funds gifted, you know, I saved majority. And this is where it's got me. So I know that the end of the year is approaching. And I know I'm going to be hitting a milestone over 7,000. It's legit, you know. I'm going to show you the evidence. Obviously I'm not going to put the 7,000 on the table, but I'm gonna show it to you, show you the evidence of that, because I believe that sometimes there are a lot of doubting Thomases, you know, out there, and you know, people say, oh, social media is not real, and you can say anything, but you know, like my son always says, the energy it takes to fake something is the same amount of energy to be legit and keeping it real. So I just wanted to highlight that, because at the end of the day, you know, we are all people, and it's 12 months in a year, and throughout that year there are occasions when you will be gifted funds. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you a young person or an old person or a grandparent. I don't know if it's because of my age why I get more cash than gifts, because obviously I'm a lady in my 50s, so I don't know, maybe they feel that I don't need anything, so they'll just give me the cash. Then I can do whatever I want to do with it. But, you know, on reflection, that is the funds that I received, and I tried to save majority, and I have done so. And in doing so, I have hit milestones that I never thought was possible. I even shocked myself. That even when I said to my husband, he said he doesn't think so, but it is the case. It is the case, you know. I think sometimes when you are in a household and you're saying that you save, and once you hit the first 1,000 or the second 1,000 or the third 1,000, because you are living in a little family and you're doing your thing and it might seem like mediocre to that person, when you say, I have hit a milestone, they just say, yeah, sure. You know, they don't see it because they don't see it in its entirety. They see the little things, and sometimes they can't believe that the little things can add up. And that has been the case. So, you know, that is what's happened. And what I want to say is that, you know, obviously I'm a lady in my 50s. I've been on earth this amount of time, and I've never ever saved that amount ever in my whole life, ever. Even before I got married, even after I got married. So I don't know if, obviously, I have 2 adult children, and I have a very giving family. You know, obviously my children are older now, so I don't have to do much for them. So, you know, what you put out is what you get back, hopefully. But, you know, a house of males, and that's the way it's worked for me. I don't know if a house of females is better or worse. I don't know, but it's been very, very positive. 23 is coming to an end, and it's been very, very positive. And I will be tuning in and doing my final figure, you know, giving it to you guys and telling you how I reached there. And that is how I reached there, because I believe it doesn't matter who you are. There must be somebody giving somebody some money. I don't believe people do give money. I do, and I get it back, but I kind of get it back full force. Yeah, I give, but I always get back more, much more, and it's nice when you get it. And also sometimes the person that has given it to you sometimes asks you what you've done with it, and I said, you know, I'm going to spend some and save majority, you know, but that is what I want to do. And I'm always thinking ahead, because I always think, well, you know, your income can change at any time. You can lose your job at any time, you know. So if you have some kind of safety net, you know, you can brace yourself for a little while longer, while you kind of find your feet, what you want to do, you know. So I'm glad that at the beginning of 23, I turned on my TV and listened to Martin Lewis, because if I didn't listen to him, I wouldn't have been doing any challenges. And if I didn't do any challenges, I wouldn't have saved over £3,000 in saving challenges. So he inspired me. And also, once I had mastered the challenges, I wanted to share it with others on the channel, because I think that sometimes, you know, we need to share something that can get somebody from A to B, and sometimes something that can get a person to a brighter zone, whether it be big or small, coins or notes, like I say. So on reflection, my 2023 has been very, very positive. And, you know, what I've learnt about myself is that, you know, I'm very disciplined, you know. Saving challenges have taught me to be very disciplined, you know, and the way that I live now, I set a budget, you know, and I try to curb any bad habits that are costing me money. And I've spoken about this on a previous video, whether you smoke or whether you're a serial shopper, or, you know, spending a lot and not thinking about it. I try to curb all of that and saving challenges. And I took a leap of faith, and I'm glad that I did that, because now it's the end of the year, and you know, I've hit a mega milestone. And I remember I was having a final a health check in the bank, and I was talking about this saving amount that I was speaking to somebody in the bank about, you know, different investments, saving vehicles, and this account flagged up, and she said to me, you know, you've done really well. How did you do it? You know, the advisor. And I said to her, you know, I save majority of any funds gifted, and I've been doing saving challenges. And she said, I've done really, really well. So, you know, when you hear it from an outsider, I think it's good, because your family can always tell you what you want to hear, but an outsider's going to keep it real. So, yeah, she said, I've done really well. So on reflection, I just want to say the top 3 tips that helped me in 2023 was to set a budget. And number 2 would be to curb bad habits that cost you money. And number 3 was to try saving challenges in any way or form, coins or note. And the 4th thing I would say to anybody is to take a leap of faith, because if you don't try, you don't know what your capabilities will be. So, you know, nothing tried, nothing gained. So it is self-explanatory. We really need to try. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter when. Just try. Any age, just go for it. Just go for it, because you know, I have tried different strategies of saving, and I just believe that saving challenges are the best. You know, I don't want to save by direct debit. I don't want to save in app. I want to do it in the privacy of my own home, and when it's reached a certain amount, then I can take it to the bank. I think it's better for me personally, and that is what I have noticed, and that is what I have learnt. And I've learnt that I'm very disciplined, and yes, and when you are disciplined, you can make progress financially, or you can be better at managing the funds that you have. So that's it really. It's all self-explanatory, and so that's it. So I'd like to say to anybody that's taken time to listen, thank you for tuning in, and remember, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Pennies make pounds, and pounds have use, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So I'd like you to comment, like and subscribe. Take care of yourself. God bless, and see you soon.